Everyone always has that one thing they're avoiding. There's always that small piece of work that you know you should do, but never start. Most people tell you to just go and do it, but in reality, it's a lot more complicated than that. You either feel scared to do it, or you just keep telling yourself you're gonna do it later, but you never do, and it eats at you from the inside. In the past, I used to hate getting a project started, and I pushed it away until I absolutely had to do it. Of course, when that moment came, I hated myself for not doing it before, but nothing ever changed. I've spent months working on myself trying to get rid of this procrastination, and today I'll explain to you what I did to actually do the work, and not only do the work, but enjoy doing it as well, and how you can do the exact same and change your life for the better. In September of this year, I decided to dedicate the next year of my life to training martial arts. More specifically, I decided to train MMA. In the first few weeks, I was very sore from all the training, and truth is, every single day I had to make a decision to either go to train or to stay at home and recover. But every single day I chose to go and train anyway. Why? Because I knew that not training that day would be because of my emotions and not because I actually had to recover. And if I didn't go train, I would be training my mind that skipping a session was okay. Every time that you skip a training session, you'll be more likely to skip the next one as well, because your mind starts to think subconsciously that skipping a training session or a work session is acceptable in certain scenarios. Now, skipping a single training session won't hurt you, but having the mindset that allows you to skip a training session will destroy you in the long run, especially if you can do that without guilt. Before you know it, you're skipping half your training sessions because every excuse your mind musters up passes as valid, and at that point, you don't even feel like training anymore, and you're not even making progress at that point. This leads into the second point, because once you have the habit of doing something, you find it much easier to go and do that habit again. And once you break that habit, it's much harder to go and do it again. And of course, regaining that habit takes time and consistency as well. This is why it's essential to have a strong mindset and teach your brain from day one to never ever skip a day of work. Because if I even missed a single training session, I would definitely miss a couple more. And from there on, I'd be less and less likely to keep coming back. Not to say that once you keep coming back and back, you start to build real interest in the work you're doing. As I kept coming back from training, I began to be more and more interested and obsessed with it, and it became much more fun for me, and I stopped even thinking about skipping. So not only was it my default to go anyway at this point, but I also enjoyed it a lot as well. But why is it so hard to begin in the first place? It's hard because the brain loves predictability and will reward it endlessly, while starting new habits that you don't know how to do isn't rewarded nearly as much. This is why you keep coming back to your bad habits and can't stick to anything new. But there's also the fact that work and training is mostly delayed gratification. You feel great after you've done it, or even weeks after you've done it. And with these days of social media and short form content, we're used to getting instant gratifications without doing any work at all. But that gratification is empty and fake, and it's slowly killing you. If you want work to be much more enjoyable, to the point that you're excited to do it every single day, you're gonna need to limit your time consuming bullshit like short form content. And once you do that and get into the habit of doing work, work will be easy and fun to do, and your life will be much better in every single way. Now, how exactly do you start doing all this? Well, most likely you're gonna need to start small. What I recommend each day after getting up is to do at least a little bit of work instead of getting on your phone and doom scrolling or doing whatever else. Over time, you're gonna feel like doing more and more work, and you're gonna be starting your day the right way. And if you ever need a break, just go for a short walk and have a boring break instead of watching anything on the internet, because doing so will make you want to not work anymore. Do this and watch your life change. Seriously. All it takes is this one small decision. Even 10 minutes of work counts and will set you on the right path. The question is, will you take my advice?